Thank you for joining us. The executive session has ended, but before we resume our regularly scheduled meeting of the Atlanta Board of Education, during each board meeting, the Atlanta Board of Education takes a moment to recognize individuals or groups who are making a meaningful impact across our district. The recognitions are led by board members and reflect our commitment to celebrating advocacy, excellence, service throughout the APS community. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Board Member Retta Baldwin for her recognition.
Y'all get too excited now. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Excellent, excellent. As my final term on the Atlanta Board of Education comes to an end, I can't think of a more fitting way to close than by honoring the place where this journey began. Not with a campaign, but with a community. Atlanta Thrive was one of the first homes in education advocacy, one of my first homes in education advocacy. It was here that I learned to raise my voice, stand in my truth, and fight for the future our children deserve. Long before I ran for office, I was just a parent searching for answers, for truth, and for the power in a system that often left us feeling voiceless. Through Atlanta Thrive, I found my voice. I found a community of unapologetic, deeply committed parents who taught me to ask the right questions, push for change, and lead with purpose. This organization didn't just teach me how to advocate, it equipped me to lead. And your impact is undeniable. You've knocked on over 10,000 doors, built a network of more than 5,000 parents, created a 6-week fellowship to train families in school data, IEP advocacy, and policy engagement. You've helped bring a district-wide student wellness screener into APS and fought for an audit of special education services so no child is left behind. Parents say things like, Atlanta Thrived helped me walk into my child's IEP meeting confident and prepared. And that changes lives. At the center of this work is Kim Dukes, a true friend, a truth teller, and someone who has never let me get too comfortable. Kim, you have held me accountable in the good and the bad, and reminded me every step of the way who I serve, the children and families of Atlanta. But no movement thrives on one person alone. I want to lift up Nisha, John, Kiwana, and Corinda. Your quiet, consistent work keeps this movement alive. You are the follow-up calls, the training sessions, the hands that make sure no parent stands alone. Together, you've challenged systems, demanded transparency, and built bridges and spaces not designed for us to lead, but lead you did. And because of your work, Atlanta Public Schools is better for our children and our communities. This is more than a thank you. It's a full circle moment. You helped shape the advocate I became and the board member I've been privileged to be. And as I pass the torch, I do so with pride in what we've built together and faith in the power of informed, organized, and unapologetically bold parents. Thank you, Atlanta Thrive, and thank you, Kim. And if y'all would come up and receive your flowers, I'd appreciate it. We get Kim.
He's got one more. All right, well, good evening and welcome back to the start of the school year. We all know that it takes great teachers, leaders, and staff to make our district go. At the end of last year, we recognized teachers that had a lot of experience in the school district. Today, I get the privilege of recognizing classified staff. And so when I call your name, I'm going to call your name and your school, try to get your position right, and most importantly, the years of experience that you have serving Atlanta Public Schools. Rose Jones, Human Resources, Assistant Director of Employee Benefits and Risk Management, 35 years. If you would, come on up, Ms. Jones. 35 years of service. And you can come up as I call your name, and if you've got family members, we're going to make one big circle here. Arcadrian Jackson, bus driver, 35 years of service. Arsenio Dingle, Hutchinson Elementary School, paraprofessional, 35 years of service. Ronnie Jones, Phoenix Academy custodian, 37 years of service. Mr. Jones, I met Mr. Jones about a month ago. He got some fans. Gail Brumfield, Boyd Elementary School, paraprofessional, 39 years of service. Beverly C. Harvey, Humphreys Elementary School, paraprofessional, 39 years of service. Lois Weaver, King Middle School, paraprofessional, 39 years of service. Charles E. Horton, Facility Services, maintenance worker, 43 years of service. Debbie L. Wilkerson, Phoenix Academy bookkeeper, 44 years of service. 44 years of service. Yeah, y'all come on in here. Let me scoot over. Betty, all right, now we're getting ready to go all the way. Betty J. Snellings, Carver Early College School Clerk, 53 years of service. And last but certainly not least, Billy J. Walker, Finch Elementary School Site Manager, 54 years of service. Fifty-five years of service. Altogether today, there are 454 years of service, 454 years of service to Atlanta Public Schools. Thank you all for your impact.
That's how people go to the gym in the morning. Yeah. What's too much? Too much. Just going on.
Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. We appreciate you. And this concludes our recognition. Mr. Wilborn, we're ready for public comment.
Good evening and welcome to the public comment portion of tonight's agenda. In just a few moments, the board will begin hearing from those who signed up to speak by 5:50 p.m. The board welcomes your comments, but before we get started, please take note of the following guidelines on how public comment is conducted. The board has allocated 1 hour for public comment, and each speaker will only be allowed to speak once for a total of 2 minutes. The board may elect to hear community comments in any order or sequence and is not limited by the order of the sign-up sheets. All speakers presenting highly detailed information are asked to put their comments in writing, and comment cards are available for those wishing to do so. In order to maintain meeting decorum, follow appropriate protocols, protect the confidentiality of students, and ensure impartiality, the board will now hear comments on matters involving individual, students, parents, or character professional competence, or the physical or mental health of any individual. Also, the board will now hear public comment on personnel matters that specifically include the name or titles of employees. This includes, but is not limited to, contract non-renewals, position abolishment, the hiring or firing of staff, and investigative proceedings regarding allegations of misconduct. Comments regarding personnel issues should be sent in writing to Atlanta Board of Education, 130 Trinity Avenue, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, or via email at boardcomments@atlantapublicschools.us. And finally, in order to maintain meeting decorum and to ensure all comments can be heard by the board, applause, cheering, jeering, or speech that defames individuals or disrupts the meeting should be refrained from and may be cause for removal, adjournment, or of the meeting and or suspension from attending future Atlanta Board of Education hearings, events, and meetings and other proceedings. With that said, I'd like to call the first 3 speakers to the microphone, and we have Aptia Imbiwan, Marjorie Lofton, and Kareem Pollan. Please come in that order.
My name is Atiba Mbiwan, and I thank you for this 2 minutes. I am here in the spirit of school and community collaboration to share my top 10 reasons for us to work together to support arts-based learning in Atlanta Public Schools. And using speed reading I learned in middle school, I'm going to go through the top 10 real quick. 1, I began my professional life as a high school math teacher in Providence, Rhode Island, at an arts-based school. Secondly, in the 1990s, the Zeiss Foundation began the first school-based health centers here in Atlanta Public Schools, and we've been partnering with APS for more than 30 years. 3, my stepson and grandson graduated from APS high schools in the past 15 years, but I lived in downtown Decatur in 2001 when City Schools of Decatur made the difficult decision to close schools. Now they're over-enrolled. 4, over the past 2 decades, the city of Atlanta population has been steadily increasing. Atlanta Public Schools enrollment should be increasing too. 5, from 2014 to 2015, I served on Governor Deal's Arts Learning Task Force with Ann Kramer, and we traveled all over the state visiting schools that are arts-based, and they all were working well. 6, the foundation has been a leader in the transformation of Maynard Jackson High School cluster because we believe in a community school model. 7, we've tried STEM-based learning. It's time to add school that are arts-based learning to the mix. The foundation is a leading funder of education and arts nonprofits, and we want to use them to help begin with the Cohen Art and Design Middle School in Edgewood. We asked for the Atlanta Public Schools to establish a joint task force of school district and community representatives to co-create a Cohen Art and Design Middle School. And we asked that Atlanta Public Schools allow Arts Now to establish an arts learning center in the Cohen building right now. So we thank you, and I'll release some materials to support that. Very much.
Marjorie Lofton.
Good evening, board members. I am Madre Lofton, Organizing Director for the Federation of Public Service Employees. Happy second week of school. We are excited for what the new school year will bring. We support Back to the Basics. Each August, we award scholarship to APS employees that are advancing their education to their children or grandchildren in college. Congratulations to this year's winners: Jennifer Saunders, Tara Shelton, Deidre Rice, Danica Peoples, Barbara Sylvester, Candace Moore, Isabel Marsh, and a host of others. Special thanks to the board member Aretta Bolden for joining FPSC and Councilman Amos in recognizing our outstanding JROTC instructors, Sergeant Major Melvin Fisher and Sergeant Major Melvin Tucker. We also recognize Cadet Andrina Brightwell, a student at Mays High School, and we are looking forward to working with school leadership and the superintendent to make APS an even better place to learn. Be well and do well. Thank you.
All right, can you hear me? Good evening. My name is Kareem Pollard, and I'm here seeking you all support for the naming of a track, not renaming Lakewood Stadium, but the naming of a track for someone who helped me beat the streets. And that trailblazer is Coach Augustus Pritchard. Coach Augustus Pritchard is a native of Grady baby, Atlanta raised in the 4th Ward neighborhood, and who matriculated in Atlanta Public Schools. He graduated from David T. Howard High School, where he and his brothers excelled in letter and many sports. Coach, as he is affectionately known, is a legendary respected mentor to many youth who had the opportunity and members to be to participate in a part of the Mercury Youth Track Club. A few of his many accolades are as follows: the founder and coach of Mercury Track Club for over 50 years, Clark Coach men's track coach with their first ever conference championship, subsequently being named Conference Coach of the Year, Bennett Coach women's head track coach, Greensboro, North Carolina, 1992 WSB TV Trailblazer Community Service Award recipient. With this said, it would be hard pressed to find more deserving citizen honoring Augusta E. Pritchard by naming the track that he coached, nourished, and encouraged so many of Atlanta and surrounding areas of the youth would be the best thank you gestures unimaginable. Currently, he had, for the last over the 20-plus years, Coach has been the starter at Atlanta, for Atlanta Public Schools. Coach Pritchard and his family have lived in the Cascade Heights neighborhood for 57 years, where he is even now an active mentor. Additionally, Gus served in the U.S. Army as a paratrooper after high school, retired from AT&T after 33 years of service, and is dedicated husband for 58 years to Gloria Pritchard. Thank you.
Our next three speakers are Latrice New, Alan Lee, and Roy Ellison. Please come forward in that order.
Good evening, everyone. I have the honor of speaking on behalf of someone who would never brag on herself, but luckily I don't have that problem. My mom, Debbie Wilkerson, has given 45 years of her life to Atlanta Public Schools. And if you've ever worked in a school, you know that's about 300 in school years. She started at Crim High School, now Phoenix Academy, as a library clerk. And over the decades, she's worn every hat they could hand her: principal, secretary, administrator, bookkeeper, an unofficial school counselor, nurse, and sometimes referee. She did all of this while raising 3 kids: Shalonda Johnson, Shenard New, myself, Latricia New, which means she worked 2 full-time jobs for most of her life. And somehow she managed to raise me into an assistant district attorney, my brother into a manager at AT&T with a beautiful family, and even her grandsons into proud APS graduates. We all graduated from APS. I sometimes wonder how she did it all. The answer is probably coffee and an unshakable belief in showing up every single day for the people who need you. But in all seriousness, my mom's story is one of loyalty, perseverance, and quiet excellence. She's the kind of person who doesn't just show up to work, she shows up for people. For 45 years, she has been the steady hand and the warm smile behind the desk, the calm in the chaos, and the one who remembers where all the important files and all the important snacks are kept. So on behalf of our family, the countless students and staff you've touched, and a community that has benefited from your dedication, thank you, Mom. We are so proud of you, and we love you more than words can say. And one last thing, after 45 years, you've earned the right to sleep in at least a 7. Congratulations, Mom.
Indeed. Congratulations, Mom. Good evening, members of the board. I am Alan Lee. Before I came to the meeting this evening, I had a cocktail with my forever friend, Jennifer Saunders, and perhaps one of APS's greatest educators. So forgive me if I speak out of turn. I'm going to blame it on the tequila. That said, I saw Dr. Battle when I walked in, and I thought something happened to Dr. Johnson. I am glad Dr. Johnson is here, and shout out to Dr. Battle, who has the kindest educational spirit that I ever met. I also saw a legacy principal in the audience, Dr. Snowden, and I think we have to appreciate our history. I saw, from FPSE's perspective, the greatest principal in APS, Miss Kimberly Gibbs over at Martin Luther King Middle School. And we are committed to raising $10,000 for Martin Luther King Middle School. We're going to do a 5K at Martin Luther King Middle School, and we're doing an MLK breakfast. So I hope that you guys will put that on your calendar. Someone will follow up with you soon. I saw Rory Ellison, and I'm looking forward to her addressing the board. But I want to talk a little bit about KIP in my last 45 seconds. KIP is good at marketing. I'm not convinced they're good at education. Purpose Build is good at marketing, not so well at education. This board has some serious decisions to make. Now is not the time for business as usual, pussyfooting around on the issues, making incremental changes. Now is the time for you to do the tough work. They have had an opportunity to succeed. And I don't care how you slice it, land it, or spin it. They have failed. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard.
Good evening, members of the board. I am Rory Ellison, an advanced placement and dual enrolled student at Maynard Jackson High School in East Atlanta, and also at Atlanta Metropolitan State College, where I'll be kicking off my first leg of my college career. It's an honor to be the recipient of the 2025 Georgia Federation of Public Service Employees Ralph Miller internship. Over the next year, I will have the opportunity to intern with FPSE in the areas of public service, community engagement, labor unions, employee relations, politics, and public education. I will represent my family, community, APS, Atlanta, and the legacy of Ralph Miller with pride. So far, I've had the opportunity to visit and work with over 6 different labor unions. I've also gained experience working at Fulton County, City of Atlanta, the Labor Department, Marietta City Schools, Clayton County Schools, and our very own APS. Special thanks to Deputy Superintendent Dr. Bradshaw, Superintendent Dr. Johnson, and Board Member Tolton Pace for visiting with me in FPSC at North Atlanta High School. I have received hands-on experience working with City Council members Boone and Winston, Court Clerk Shay Alexander, and our APS Board Chair Erica Mitchell. I also had the opportunity to work with our Senator Jason Estes' governor's campaign. With strong roots in education, my mother and grandmother are both educators, and my mother an APS graduate of Mays High School class of 1995, along with my grandfather who served Atlanta for over 45 years as a police officer, and my grandmother who is here, Dr. Snowden, who was former Grove Park Elementary principal. With a future in medicine, a promise to be an anesthesiologist, being able to work with some of Atlanta's most prominent people has been such a learning experience. Being from Atlanta, I of course know the culture of it, being a consumer, but being able to work with it has been unforgettable, and thank you for making my junior year.
Next, we have Davita Huntley, Breanne Turgeon, and Tracy Thornhill. Please come in that order. And Mr. Dyer, you can also come as well too, Mr. Nathaniel Dyer.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. I stand before you today as a proud fourth-generation graduate of Booker T. Washington High School and the mother of a fifth-generation graduate, a school that has shaped not only my life, but the lives of generations in my family. Today, though, I wear black and gold of the Douglas Astros, not because I traded my royal blue and white, but because I want my presence to reflect unity. As we discuss possible school consolidations, closing, and budget changes, I ask you, Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson and members of the Atlanta Board of Education, to remember one thing: every community voice matters. These are not just buildings, these are the heartbeats of neighborhoods, the history of generations, and the foundation of our children's future. The APS Facilities Task Force must respect the lived experiences of the people who have built and sustained these schools. We cannot afford to be divided. This is the time to unite parents, alumni, educators, and students so that decisions are not made for us, but with us. When you decide the future of our schools, make sure you truly hear us, because without the community, there is no APS. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Breanne Turgeon. I teach at Springdale Park. I've been in APS for 19 years, and in that time I've taught at Morningside, Eastlake, Toomer, Usher, Walter White, and Spark. Over that time, it always feels like we are fighting for the entire child. And I'm here tonight because of the upcoming facilities long-range plan. I loved your speech just now. That is exactly sort of what I'm speaking towards. Not just the schools that will be consolidated or closed or repurposed and all of those things, but what is going to happen for all children across APS. I was looking at the presentation from the community meeting on May 19th, and I was alarmed by the planning framework slides on maximizing staffing resources. And as I was looking at it, I saw that art, music, and PE for schools less than 450 students was not funded or not fully funded. Once you get to schools over 450 students, there's an indication that for art, music, and PE, school leaders would have to pick one, was one of the comments or one of the indications on that page. Choir is unfunded in middle school, optional in small high schools. Elementary band and all levels of orchestra, drama, dance are not even mentioned. Our students deserve every opportunity to do all of the things. Atlanta influences everything. I say this all the time. I'm here to speak for the arts and for all of the things that the arts can help our students become. I fear that even After this first phase of plans, any under-enrolled or even fully enrolled schools will be in the crosshairs for personnel cuts. And I am asking for our community to speak up, and stand for your students. I know my time's up, so thank you for listening.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Tracy Thornhill. I represent AFSCME. I come here today with no complaint. It kind of surprised y'all, right? Come here today with no complaints, but I did come to say thank you for looking out for the least of these. Our cafeteria workers, our bus drivers. You said you would do it. You've done it, but I want y'all to know, put y'all on notice. This is only the first 2 weeks of school. I didn't have any chance to get any complaints. So I may be back next month with a whole different attitude. So I'm just letting y'all know, but for now, let's live in it. Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to give Shirley Goodrum and her team a kudos for the job they did in Washington Cluster. It was great for the community, and the momentum should carry on. Great children, great. We're in a good space right now. Now to the business. Stop playing games. You know, you're talking about this budget, and you want to get into affordable housing. Then you don't have money for this. You want to dream big, but yet you don't have the backbone to go talk to Centennial Yards. $5 billion going into a hole, which in Punts Market, and they're one of your top offenders. You want to talk about under-evaluations and those companies that are appealing? Those two are draining your system. So before you come to the community talking about, with this guy, whoever he was, something earlier, talking about which schools should be closed, tell him to do his homework and look up into the sky and see the cranes over in the community. How dare he comes to the community talking about what can be done, and he doesn't bring a business component or a commercial. Now, I've been around for a long period of time. All the schools that he listed as it relates to a history of mergers and closures were 99 to 100% black closures. Now we're having this conversation when the World Cup is coming, trillions are going into development. You close nothing when that level of development comes into a town. There should not be a conversation. And then if you want to fill up your coffers, you cut that funding to KIP. 250, and your partner schools. They're not progressing. So since you have momentum, like I mentioned, Washington, bring those students back. We have great things going on now. And like the gentleman said, we're just day 2 or whatever. So some things may change, but we're going to hold out. But do not come to the community with that BS about any type of closure until, one, you cut that funding, you go talk to the people in the Gulch, have some backbone. That's you, board. You're supposed to be bringing that money in. Thank you.
And Madam Chair, that concludes public comment.
He put us on notice. Okay, thank you to our community members for joining us this evening. We always appreciate your feedback and engagement. For stakeholders who are unavailable to attend our monthly meetings in person, the full board meeting is available on YouTube channel ABOE TV, which can be accessed through our website. Our commitment to providing accessibility resources that encourage and support meaningful stakeholder engagement.
This month, Board Chair Mitchell and I will provide updates from the following committees: Policy and Accountability. Board Chair Mitchell, will you share an update?
Thank you, Vice Chair McDonough. I would like to take a moment to share a brief update regarding committee leadership. It has been an honor to serve as the chair of Policy Review Committee for 6 months due to vacancy. As of now, I will be stepping down, and I am appointing board member Alfred Shivy Brooks to serve in this role. I am confident in his leadership and his ability to guide this important work on behalf of our students, and I look forward to his thoughtfulness and purpose. In January, board members will be reappointed to new committees as part of our regular process. Congratulations, board member Shivy Brooks.
From Accountability Commission standpoint, one of the most important things that the board does is hire the superintendent. The Accountability Commission, one of our most important goals is to make sure that we are managing properly and supporting our superintendent. So I want to thank board members Katie Howard and Ken Zeff for being on this committee with me, where I serve as a chair, and I've been on that committee since I joined the board 3.5 years ago. We had an opportunity to create a tool in which we could each individually provide feedback to Dr. Johnson. We also gave Dr. Johnson an opportunity to give his own feedback to us on how we were tracking towards the goals. We could not be more thrilled that in July we had a special called meeting and were able to add an additional year onto Dr. Johnson's contract. And we are absolutely thrilled that you are here and you are leading the district in the direction it needs to go. We will now transition into conferences, and Board Chair Mitchell, will you share about your event in July?
Yes, thank you. July 12th through the 16th, I had the opportunity to attend the California Association of Black School Educators. During the conference, I had an opportunity to meet the man of the day, Dr. Kareem Weaver, who led the charge with the right to read and really led and motivated the former board to really dive into science of reading, our approach and how we roll out our literacy in the district and literacy policy from the board governance. I also had opportunity to meet Colin Kaepernick and his initiative with AI and the work that he's doing with different school districts around the country. I also had opportunity to sit on a panel discussion and really highlight APS Hub, the work that Chelsea Montgomery is doing in our community and tackling and bringing tackling barriers, breaking down barriers, but also providing resources for parents. And one of the highlights was around the Gooder and our partnerships to remove the barrier of food insecurity for our families. This conference was well attended. It was school districts across the United States. It was not just limited to board members and superintendents to the state of California. That is my report out on conferences. And this concludes my remarks, Dr. Johnson. We're ready to hear your remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to briefly recap the work session today. Dr. Howe gave an update on milestones results in which she highlighted the overarching gains in 3 through 8 and the work that's been done. Dr. Butler provided an update around strategic plan and strengthening our instructional core and the focus that's going on around curriculum assessment. Ms. Felicia Lester, Interim Chief Human Resource Officer, as well as Tommy Usher, Chief of Schools, gave a bit of an update on our strength being our team and some of the work that's going on to ensure that highly effective teachers and leaders are in front of all of our students. Lisa Bracken gave a financial update, and then Dr. Kim Bradshaw gave an update on the comprehensive long-range facility planning. As I'm sure everyone knows, in particular high school students, is we are asking them to put those personal electronic devices away and plug into learning. And I can say after 1 week being in schools, they're surviving. My own 8th grade son will survive. So we know it's an adjustment. We appreciate all of the partnership and just really want our students to maximize the opportunity and privilege they have to have great teachers and leaders in front of them, and frankly to build great relationships with their peers. Day one, when I look at the week one, we had a chance to be in 26, I believe, buildings as mentioned. We started the year with, I believe, 3 teacher vacancies, had several new leaders, all bus drivers were hired, even though we had a sub or 2 here or there. All in all, it was a really good week, and we're off to week 2. I want to also acknowledge the Booker T. Washington Bash, as well as the district's Back to School Festival. Both great events. We appreciate Mercedes-Benz and their partnership in being a kind of anchor sponsor for the district event. Madam Chair, this concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Would you please present the consent agenda?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. I'm pleased to submit the consent agenda items numbered 5.1 through 5.4B for your consideration and approval.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'd like to take the time to make sure all board members are logged into Assembly so we can begin the process of voting. Yes. No, we're waiting for everyone to log into Assembly, and then I'll get started. Everybody ready? On this side? How about this side? Y'all all ready? Yeah, everybody's ready? Okay, great. Well, now, we'll begin. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.2N?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown, second by Board Member Baldwin. Ms. Barnett, could you please open the polls?
Don't any of us have it yet.
That's from her screen. Oh, you see some of those? Oh, Cynthia and I read about it.
Absolutely locked.
Well, I haven't yet. Oh, those emotions, you're right.
Can we just do it by roll call?
Hold on. Is there a technical, the motion, yes, I understand. No? It is. All right. Is it coming?
There it is.
All right, there we are. Oh my God, we're gonna pop this. Oh. Thank you. And now we will move to discussion and action. The following items will be discussed. Number one, the monthly budget adjustment. Dr. Johnson, please present the items for discussion.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. There are 5 budget adjustments this month. The first will reduce both the revenue and expenditures by $22 million in alignment with the actual Fulton County Tax Digest. It was shared earlier by Ms. Bracken, and the lower assessment values for commercial property. The final 4 related to state grants and will adjust both revenue and expenditures in alignment with the actual awards for CTAE.
Is there a motion to approve the budget adjustment?
So moved.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown.
Second.
Second by Board Member Baldwin. Any discussion? I am hearing none. Ms. Barnett, would you please open the polls?
Yes, I voted yes.
Thank you.
Close the pop-up box.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Next, we have the Academy of Innovation in Medicine, or AIM, Startup Charter Petition. We are recommending denial of the petition due to concerns regarding overlap with current and future APS programs, concerns regarding the school's ability to provide appropriate special education services, and negative impacts on enrollment, as well as budgetary constraints.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation to deny the AIM Startup Charter Petition? To be clear, a yes vote on this recommendation means a denial of the charter petition.
So moved.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown.
Second.
Second by Board Member Katie Howard. Any discussions? Board Member Dr. Zeff, followed by Board Member Johnson and Board Member Howard. Is that right or no? Or you just had your glasses up? Okay.
It's a lot of pressure. Thank you, Board Chair. I have deep respect for the folks who put this petition together. There's a lot of energy, a lot of thoughtful time went into putting this together. It is hard to run a charter school. It is really hard to run an excellent charter school. You have to manage HR, you have to manage school culture, finance, IT, master schedule, all manners of compliance. And as I look at the board that is assembling this charter petition, I don't see the track record of experience in this sort of work, and given this moment in time and the superintendent's recommendation, I would encourage these folks, this group of learned folks, to come partner with us. I think we have something to learn from you, but I can't see my way to support the petition.
Thank you so much. And so I will echo Ken's sentiment, just the utmost respect for the team of people that have put this petition together, and for the district for the due diligence that you all did in considering a number of options. And so what I would share is the parts that resonated with me personally were just around the innovation of the model, and also around the college and career readiness, the post-secondary readiness that was going to be available as an option to students. And I think my question to the district is, are there still other opportunities for us to dig a little deeper and find a way that we can provide these resources to APS students?
I'll just echo Ken's comments, and then I hear Jessica as well. As the board member representing the board on the Atlanta College and Career Academy, basically Go Team, I've seen firsthand what we're offering in the areas that this proposal says they want to expand, and I appreciate the work Dr. Johnson has done and team in looking to see about a partnership. And as the recommendation states, we do provide healthcare opportunities in fields and other areas like South Atlanta has for a long time. There's plenty of room to expand, and that's been a focus, certainly as we look at our long-range facilities master planning. So unfortunately, though, that has not materialized in terms of partnership. So I can not support this application, but certainly support the superintendent's recommendation.
Thank you. Again, to be clear, a yes vote on this recommendation means a denial of the charter petition. Ms. Barnett, please open the polls.
Nah, for sure. It had been a big oops. A very expensive oops. Oh, yeah.
Item 7.1 is a resolution recognizing requesting a tax levy for the fiscal year 2026 general fund budget. Final adoption. This resolution highlights how Atlanta Public Schools are funded through the local property taxes. Under Georgia law, the city is allowed to maintain its own school system and levy property taxes specifically to support its schools. Each year, the Board of Education has legal responsibility to recommend the appropriate school tax rate to the city's mayor and council. The taxes collected are then dedicated to the maintenance and operation of the school system or the school district. In this resolution, the board is officially recommending that the mayor and council maintain the current property tax rate at 20.5 mils.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Properly moved by Board Member Briscoe Brown.
Second.
Second by Board Member Aretta Baldwin. Is there any discussions? Board Member Briscoe Brown.
Could we just provide a very brief explanation of why we did not have to go through the public hearing process this year?
Dr. Bracken is coming this way. She'll give a better explanation than I will.
Good evening, Board Chair Mitchell, members of the board, Dr. Johnson. So yes, every year we have to calculate something called a rollback rate. The rollback rate is what we would need to levy, the millage rate we would need to set to be able to collect the same amount of taxes as we did the year before. Typically, that is a number that is lower than your actual millage rate. The rollback rate is lower. So we have to advertise that we're raising taxes. If you raise taxes, you have to have public hearings, 3 public hearings in order to do that. This year, our rollback rate is actually higher than the millage rate we're recommending. So we're in effect lowering taxes by keeping the millage rate the same. And for that reason, there's no reason to hold the public hearings. We just need to reset the millage rate as it's been at 20.5 mils since FY 2022.
So we don't have to hold a public hearing when we lower taxes, just when we raise them?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be mad at that?
Thank you, Cynthia
We're
Brown, for clarity.
We're not actually raising taxes. We have lowered the millage rate.
We're maintaining
years.
the millage rate at 20.5
Right, but-
mils.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bracken. Ms. Barnett, would you please open the polls?
Sandra Murray.
She's not doing this anymore.
She's gone. She's out now.
No, she's in the system. She's not
Okay.
she's not in that job.
Got it.
Thank you. Madam General Counsel, does the board need to report out from executive session?
Madam Chair, it does not.
Well, thank you. We'll move right along.
The board travel report is a monthly report that details district-funded travel for board members and the board office, including our year-to-date spending. The special revenue report is a monthly report on grant budget adjustments and amended budgets. The quarterly student activity report provides information regarding the receipts and disbursements to schools. The school zone assignments for annexation is an informational report on small annexations into the city of Atlanta that do not require a referendum. This month's report lists properties annexed into Atlanta after legislation went into effect that keeps those properties zoned for the DeKalb County School District pending the outcome of legal action. The construction status report is a monthly report on active construction projects that are primarily funded by the voter-approved special purpose local option sales tax, known as SPLOST.
Each of these reports can be found under the information tab in Assembly.
And we'd like to thank you for your participation, engagement, and support of the Atlanta Public Schools getting started this year. We look forward to engaging you through the 2025-2026 school year. Have a great night.
Thank you. Now we'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Chair McDonald, second by Board Member Briscoe Brown. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned. Thank you.